he will be set apart. Around the time when Israel lives under the rule of enemies, in a quiet village of the tribe of Dan, a barren woman hears impossible news. This is the story of a promised child who will arrive to begin a strange deliverance. Manoah is a man of his home, a farmer and head of household. He carries the weight of a family living under foreign pressure. He longs for children and stability, and he will soon learn a promise will demand more than hope. Manoah's wife is unnamed in the text, a woman judged childless by her years. She is practical and faithful, tending the household work. When an angel declares she will bear a son, her faithful heart becomes the stage of a promise. That evening an angel of the Lord appears to Manoah's wife. She is startled, but the messenger speaks calmly. The angel tells her she will conceive and give birth to a son. The visitor sets the scene with certainty and instruction, not vague hope. When she listens, the angel gives clear rules. The child must be a Nazirite from birth. He must never drink wine, never touch the dead, and his hair must remain uncut. These conditions are a vow of separation, a cultural sign that he will be consecrated to God. After the angel leaves, she runs to tell Manoah. She describes the visitor exactly and repeats the instructions. Manoah listens in stunned silence. The message travels from private awe to the household, and its weight begins to press on their lives. In that moment, Manoah prays and asks God to send the same messenger again so they may know what to do. He fears mistaken obedience. His prayer is not disbelief. It is a desire for clarity and responsibility to fulfill the divine command properly. Soon the messenger of the Lord returns just as Manoah had prayed. Manoah and his wife see the same radiant figure and bow in reverence. The return confirms that the original message was from God, and they receive renewed instruction and presence with trembling hearts. As the light stands before them, Manoah asks practical questions. He requests signs to know that they will raise the child rightly, and that he will truly fulfill God's purpose. His questions are humble but urgent. The family must understand what obedience will require. Then the angel tells Manoah to offer a burnt offering to the Lord. Manoah prepares an animal and arranges a sacrifice on a rock. These ritual acts show reverence and acknowledge that the promise is not private but tied to covenant worship and the Lord's acceptance. As Manoah lights the offering, fire leaps from the rock and consumes it, and the angel vanishes in the flame. Manoah and his wife are terrified. The miraculous fire confirms the divine source and leaves them overwhelmed by both wonder and fear. After the vision, they fall prostrate. Manoah fears they will die because they have seen God. Their worship is shaken by awe. Yet this fear blends into gratitude as they realize they are entrusted with a child set apart for a sacred purpose. Days pass, and the woman conceives. In a culture where barrenness is often judged as isolation, conception changes her social standing and brings hope to the household. The pregnancy is both a private miracle and the beginning of a public destiny. When the child is born, they name him Samson. The birth fulfills the angel's word. The household receives the child with awe and careful remembrance of the rules given. He is to be a Nazirite, a living sign that God is acting even in a time of oppression. As Samson grows, his uncut hair is a visible vow. the family trains him under the Nazirite restrictions. His early years are quiet but charged with expectation, because he is meant to begin delivering Israel from the Philistines, a mission rooted in divine promise rather than military plan. When the chapter closes, the purpose is clear. This child will begin to rescue Israel from Philistine control. It is not yet full deliverance, but a beginning. The promise ties personal holiness to national hope in a time when leaders are absent and God acts through unlikely people. But before the child rises as a deliverer, the Nazirite vow shows why holiness matters. In Israelite culture, separation was visible. The vow marks Samson as set apart for God and communicates that the Lord's action often starts with personal consecration before public triumph. Years ahead are uncertain. Manoah and his wife will watch a son who is set apart yet vulnerable to temptation and enemies. The narrative leaves tension. The promise is sure, but how God fulfills it will be turbulent, showing that divine purpose often travels through fragile human life. In the end, Judges chapter 13 teaches that God can open life where there was none and set apart one person to begin deliverance. The promise is both gift and responsibility. If this story moved you, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell so you do not miss the next one.